and welcome to episode 37 of Girlfriends Knitting. I'm Carolyn. I go by Call Shirley on Plurk and Ravelry, and I'm very excited to show you a whole bunch of stuff and give away our SOCK-TOBER prizes. Okay, as always, I start with my finished objects. So the first one is, as I told y'all on, was it just last week? Yes. Okay, Rhinebeck Roundup, which is last week, that my parents bought me a woolly winder for Christmas, so I immediately went home, put it on my wheel, and started spinning. Loved it. I hadn't spun in probably a month or so. I had a loop back on the wheel that I spun a little bit on, and then I would stop and spin a little bit on. Not because I don't love the loop back, but just I was in a knitting mood, and you need to go with what your mood is. Was, with your hobbies. So I had bought an unnamed pencil roving in a rainbow gradient from an unnamed vendor. I saw it, I loved it, I grabbed it, I handed the lady cash, and I left. I stuck it in, I had a bag, so I just stuck it in my shopping bag and left. So I have no idea where I got this from. If anybody knows, again, it was a wool pencil roving that I bought in the food area where all the wine tasting was. Maybe that had something to do with why I didn't find out who this was from. I'm not saying that, but anyway, I got it spun. I did I did spin my pencil roving first, because I had heard Leslie on one of the episodes saying that a pencil roving would be a good way to start spinning because it would help you with drafting. And I had never spun with a woolly winder, so I didn't know how the uptake with the woolly winder would be different than the hooks. So I thought, well, I'll do with the pencil roving first, because that way I can practice with the uptake, get used to the uptake before I'm having to also worry about drafting. And this is how it came out. It is very crinkly, as you can see, which means it is way overspun. But that is because I was spinning it very intentionally overspun, because I was nervous about the fact that I planned on leaving it a single ply. I've never spun a single ply before. Well, obviously I have, but I've never left any of my yarns a single ply. But I knew from the beginning that this pencil roving would stay a single ply. And I plan on casting on the wingspan for Amy with this. The pencil roving was bought specifically for her, and so I showed her that she has tons of hats. She is hat obsessed, so any hat I knit for her she thinks is awesome. But I wanted her to have something different. And she already has a rainbow colored hat, so I thought, well, not that she'd usually wear them together, but she needs something other than a hat. And as it's a single ply that I made, not some wonderful yarn company, I was nervous about making her socks out of it because I didn't think they would wear at all very well, that they would just immediately disintegrate. But I think a shawl would be perfect for my first single ply. So I've got to get this washed and cast on. This is not going to be part of her Christmas, so this probably will not get cast on as a wingspan until January. There you go. It is definitely a fingering weight. I used my new wraps per inch tool, and it was 25 wraps per inch, 375 yards, and I just wrote Rhinebeck 2012 on there because that's all I know about the fact that this yarn, where it came from. Okay, so that's my first finished object. I'm very happy with it. The second, I'm going to put a picture here. So the second is the hat modeled by Chelsea, and it is for the CAC auction. It was just going to be one of several things that I knit for the auction. I also received in the mail today, and this makes my little poor hat just pitiful looking. This is from Melissa, who is Rowlesgirl. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to show you this. It is huge and amazing and light and airy. It's blues and purples. I don't know the pattern. I've asked Melissa to tell me what the pattern and yarn are. I just think that oh wow, this is going to be amazing. I cannot wait to see how this does in the auction. So thank you, Melissa. This is amazing. Can you see the colors a little bit better now? Oh, it's just so beautiful. I cannot wait. Cannot wait. If any of you do have items for the CAC, I would need to get them like around Thanksgiving or before, because the auction is the first weekend in December. And Amy just wanted me to tell y'all a very big thank you for anybody who is willing to send stuff. Okay, so let's go to works in progress. It's October! So in October, I went sock crazy. I finished up 3 pair of socks myself. I finished up a pair of really short anklet kind of socks for Stacy. I finished up my bipartisan test knit for Megan. I finished myself a pair of knee-high socks that I wore all around Rhinebeck and were awesome. And then I had also cast on what I'm calling Sunday Barbecue, because it is the Sunday Swing socks. And hold on, I have my project bag, the awesome zombie project, well, skeleton project bag from the Plover Bird, another Melissa. So I have the name Crystal Nyberg. I keep forgetting to mention who wrote this pattern, and I feel bad for that. So they are the Sunday Swing socks by Crystal Nyberg in my lovely Plover Bird bag. And I had the first one done. Remember, this was one of my mini hose. And the second one, I am working on the gusset right now. So I've turned the heel and I'm going down the gusset. So I have made some progress on that. I have at least one more sock. Hold on, I'm looking at my Christmas list. I have at least one more pair of socks that I plan on knitting for Christmas, possibly 2. I've kind of gone Gnome Acres crazy, which is bad considering how much I spent at Rhinebeck, but we're all going to get over it. Budget will survive. Maybe eating ramen noodles, but the budget will survive. So I do have more intentions of socks. In addition, I did not get to show y'all last week because I didn't know where it was, but I found it. This is for one of my friend's little girls that I always give them knitted items for Christmas because A, their mother knows how to take care of them, B, the girls are in love with them, and these are kids that I see literally on a daily basis. So I do something a little bit special. You know, the nieces, the nephews, the kids I see on a daily basis. I do a little bit something special for them. And again, depending on whether the kid and or mom can take care of the hand knits. You know, you have to have that, are you hand knit worthy? And these little girls are. So you've seen Weba. Weba is going to her sister, younger sister. This is for the older sister. It's got pink toes and heels, and it'll have a pink lacy cuff. It is just 4x4 rib, so it really sucks in, but it's 4x4 rib. It's going to be knee high. The yarn is just my go-to sock yarn for just, I want to knit a quick pair of socks, nothing special. Premier sock yarn in the pink sugar. And since I'm doing the purple, which is also I think this is a bamboo and yew, actually, in a purple, for the toe, heel, and cuff. So these are definitely going to be like boot socks. They're going to come up over, you know, to her knee. I'm calling them pink sugar plums because they're her Christmas socks. So I've got these pink Sugarplum socks. So I still have 2 pair of socks on the needles. Definitely will have a 3rd pair. But I got 3 done in October. I can get 3 done in November. And they're not until Christmas. And the Sunday socks are for me, so I can always put them off. Even though I probably won't because they're almost done. So that is sock knitting / Christmas / my craziness. Okay. What else do I have on the needles? Oh, I am super excited because not this weekend, but next, I'm taking some knitting classes or some knitting workshops through our local knitting guild with Margaret Radcliffe. I think that's the name. I may have that wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's correct. And there was lots of homework. I think 10 different swatches for the homework for the different classes. One of them is knitting in all directions. One of them is fixing your mistakes. Just all kind of little add to your bag of tools kind of classes. And so I have been knitting and tagging. Like, see, this says Saturday's class swatch number 1. This is Saturday's class swatch number 2. So I've been knitting and tagging in a plain beige, because that's what she told us to do, all my little swatches. So I've been doing 1 or 2 a night just to get those done for next weekend. Then what I've been making a ton of progress on, and right now, is mindless knitting. So it was perfect for like the Halloween party at our OIS last night. Chelsea's Boatneck sweater. Let me back up a second. I always sit with my feet crossed. That's why when I go to the side, I'm pulling my foot out from underneath. It looks like an actual sweater. Yay! And I tried it on myself. I know. It is a little tight on me, but it does stretch quite, you see, it is quite stretchy. And that's the idea, so that she can stretch it. So, of course, I always stretch it and then pull, pull the needles out. But, okay, so this is the Boatneck sweater. It is a pay-for pattern that I bought the pattern, didn't like the pattern, and so completely rewrote the pattern to make it what I wanted. So the detailing on the sleeves, which is kind of a seed stitch detailing, and the raglan shaping comes from the pattern. The fact that I am knitting it as a raglan, top down, is me. I rewrote the pattern because the pattern is written in pieces and then seamed. I didn't want to do that. I'm really liking the way it looks with these short sleeves. The pattern calls for really long sleeves. It is Chelsea's Christmas present, but she picked out the pattern, she picked out the yarn, so it's not a surprise at all. So I may talk to her about length of sleeve, and if she wants me to just, attach and do 5 or 6 more rounds and let it roll up. The bottom is intended to roll just like the neck. So you just do stocking knit and let it roll, and that's the edge. So the bottom will look just like this top neck. The neck is not picked up and added. It's meant to roll like that. So I love the idea of having short sleeves that roll and then the bottom that rolls. I think it would look awesome. So Chelsea and I will have a discussion about that sometime this week to figure out what she wants. The pattern, like I said, is written for long sleeves, and the cuff rolls on the long sleeve. So I have the yarn for it. I am on my 3rd skein, and I have 5. So, and I've just started the 3rd skein. See, I still have a full skein of the 3rd skein. So the 3rd skein will finish out the body of the sweater, and then I'll have a whole skein apiece for the arms. So I was worried I was going to be a skein short, because I did buy a skein less than the pattern calls for, because that's all Hank had. And so my intention was to do 3/4 length sleeves, which, because the sleeves are done straight, so that they are meant to be longer at the cuff, it would look good 3/4 length. So I figured, okay, I could fudge that way and be fine with the amount of yarn. But I'm just really I'm thinking about making her a hat. and doing short sleeves. I don't know. Like I said, her and I will talk and we'll figure it out and she'll get what she wants. Because like I said, I have plenty of yarn to do it and time to do it. So that's supposed to be a Christmas present. I'm way on track for that. So awesome, excited about that. Spectra, also a Christmas present. On track for that. It has not been touched though, but it needs some work. But I've been with the person I'm giving it to, as y'all know. Then SSK is coming up in the summer. And the SSK knit-alongs, which is what you do and you get raffle tickets for the raffle at SSK. And so there's knit-alongs every other month or so. The first one is starting, and it's Susan B. Anderson. So remember for my birthday, Amy bought me Itty Bitty Toys by Susan B. Anderson, which I so plan on bringing to SSK and getting signed. So I wanted to knit my Susan B. Anderson pattern, which is our first knit-along for SSK, out of this book. So, you know, I've got to kill about 5 birds with one stone here, with one knitting project. So it needs to be Christmas, it needs to be Susan B. Anderson, needs to be from this book. And it'd be nice if it could be a yarn from a vendor, but I'm trying not to spend a whole lot on yarn because I've already spent a lot on yarn, so it needs to come from Stash. So if it is a vendor and it comes from Stash, awesome. I do have vendor yarn in Stash. But this is what I picked. So this is going to be for my niece, Elle. Frog and turtle. So I hate frogs, but she loves them. And he's super cute. So now I just need to find some green yarn in Stash. And if I can't find exactly what I want, I may purchase. But he becomes, if I can show you this without showing you the whole book, a turtle. So it's one of these, you flip him inside out. And so he's a frog one way and you flip him inside out and he becomes a turtle. So that is my SSK up and coming project. So I'm casting that on. I know this whip segment is like already 20 minutes. I'm sorry. Because I have awesome knitting friends. But just like myself, they're crazy. Because, you know, that's why we're friends. Because the craziness matches. So Dawn, Megan, Carrie, and Amy. All in on this crazy. And Amy is Amy Knitting in Circles, not my Amy. Okay. Rocky Coast Cardigan. Amy of Knitting in Circles. Dawn. Oh, that's Froggy Monkey. Dawn, Knit and Wolf. We're both casting this on. And they said, you need to too. So then, Megan of Stocking and Zombies gets involved and says, yes, it would be crazy. You've already got a sweater on the needles. It would be you're crazy for the crazy cow. So then Carrie chimes in, and she wants to do a sweater knit-along, and so she's casting on a sweater. And so I did. I found yarn in Stash that I got a sweater's quantity worth, which for me, being a larger girl, getting a sweater's quantity worth of yarn is not my norm, because that would be like 8 skeins all at once. And I just, unless I know that I want this yarn for a specific sweater, I don't buy sweaters quantities. So this is Aslan Trends Del Cerro. I don't know how to say that. It's 100% merino wool, and I had a sweater's worth for me quantity in Militaire is the name of the colorway, and Dawn was laughing at me because I said it's the color of my eyes, and she says, you do not have military green eyes. So I sent her a picture of my eyeball. She thought I was crazy. I was like, because I am crazy. This is the crazy. You said get the podcasters involved, and what is your crazy? My crazy is that I text friends pictures of my eyeballs. You want to see my eyeball? See, it's military green. It matches. So, this is my gauge swatch. This is the green. It is a military green. I think it's going to be great. I think it's a good color for me. I love it. It's a soft, squishy yarn. This is soft, squishy fabric. I did use the needle that the pattern calls for. I'm using the stinky needles. I see what Dawn means by the stinky needles. They definitely are not the most pleasant smelling. But my gauge swatch did not come out to gauge. And so I'm probably going to have to cast on the size up from what I had planned on knitting for my size so that I don't have to change needles. So that's my thought. Let me know what you think, because I just have like only 100 yards more than what the pattern called for my size. So if I cast the size up, I very much risk running out of yarn. So my thought was, if I did like maybe an oatmeal, or I don't know what other color would look good. I'm thinking oatmeal as the long cuffs and the big collar to go with this, and then the oatmeal. I don't know. Let me know what you think. What do I do if I run out of yarn? Because this is something I got on clearance. Getting more of this is probably not a possibility. More crazy. Knitting a sweater without even having enough yarn. This is my crazy. Okay. I know, I've talked and talked and talked. So let's move on to the big event of the day, which is Sock-Tober. And your gorgeous Rhinebeck yarn. Remember, I bought Madeline Tosh sock yarn. It is a single ply. And let me pull up my lovely thread. Pull up my random number generator. We had 58 entries. Wow. Generate 36. All right, let's see who 36 is. It's going to be on page 2. Mary Beth 143, and she knit a pair of Halloween socks out of Gnome Acres Witch's Brew. Definitely Halloweenish, Octoberish. Yay! Okay, but we have 2 more prizes. 2 more prizes. I'm the math teacher. Okay, so generate. It gave me 36 again. Number 3. All right, hold on. I put my little screen down. So number 3 is going to get a button. And I'm going to surprise y'all. You just have to see what button you get when you get it. I've also got another little surprise I'm going to add it to the bag. Mad 79! She is having a really, really rough time after Hurricane Sandy, so please send your thoughts and prayers to her. I'm going to send you some goodies, okay, honey? So PM me your address, and I'm going to send you some goodies. All right. And then number 17. Let's see who 17 is. E. Katrin for Love. And she says, I know this doesn't really look appropriate for October, but it's apple picking season, and I named it Green Apples because it's apple picking season. And it's called, so not going to try and say that, Kerbisoup, which means pumpkin soup. They're super cute green and white socks. Go check them out. Hold on, I didn't tell you what Mad 79 did. She was our first entry. No, excuse me, she was our second entry. And she says, well, it's a stretch, but fall starts getting cooler and the ocean bays start to darken. This color reminds me of the lighter blue waters of the summer turning dark to the cooler winter months. Perfect! And there's some gorgeous blue socks. Yay! Okay, so I will write those down, and if the 3 of you will PM me your address, I will get these in the mail. And again, send your thoughts and love to Mad79. She's having a rough time right now. So, excuse me, my nose is running. Last week, I did not talk about weight loss. I did not talk about fitness. So let me talk about that this week. Let's, as Amy Beth said, let's discuss. What weight loss? I'm on a weight loss journey? Who said? I didn't say that. Did I say that? I don't remember saying that. As you know, I told y'all Rhinebeck was freebie. I was just going to enjoy. Well, the amount of walking we did at Rhinebeck should so totally make up for the awesome food. So let me tell you about the food. First of all, my parents, which I love, are very, well, I love them too, but I love this about them. They don't do chain restaurants if you're on vacation. You can do a chain restaurant at home. So if you're on vacation, you eat local, which my brother couldn't stand when we were in Australia and didn't understand why they wouldn't let him eat at McDonald's and made him eat at the Australian places. But I love this about them. So every restaurant, you just drive through town and you see where the locals are eating. And if you see lots of local cars, that's where you go eat. That's how we pick. So we went to this diner, really good food, really cool little diner, the first night in the Catskills. Then the second night, we went to an Italian restaurant, also in the Catskills. I don't remember the name of the restaurant. We have a contest to see who orders the best. So everybody orders. Usually we eat kind of family style where we all eat off of each other's plates. And we all try what everybody ate, and then whoever ordered the best wins. And I won because I ordered shrimp risotto. Like, bow to the shrimp risotto. It was so good. Though my mother did not agree with me because she ordered the eggplant parmesan. And I will say it was the best eggplant parmesan I had ever put in my mouth. Wow. But I still think the shrimp risotto was better. It was so good. And I'm going to try and cook it myself this weekend. And I will probably fail miserably. But still, it was so good. Then, on the way home, just in the airport, we just ate at the airport because I don't know why we did that, but we did. And the restaurant had barbecue sliders. I don't like barbecue. I know, I live in Memphis and I don't like barbecue. Isn't that crazy? But still. They were so good. Oh my gosh. The apple cider donuts were so good. And I know y'all saw the little clip of my dad. Is my dad not awesome? Last week, and he was showing you the coffee, and he was showing you his Reese's peanut butter bar thing. That was all weekend. Mom would be like, look at this fiber. And I would be like, look at this yarn. And my dad would be like, and so I just found this pie. And it's awesome. Every time we turned around, Dad had something else that he was. Usually it was the pie made by the 4-H people because he was in love by the 4-H people's pie. I think he ate an entire apple pie's worth of the 4-H apple pie. It was really good food there. But again, we walked and walked and walked and walked. I can't even begin to guess how many miles we walked both days, and then even Monday through the airport and through the town, and lots of walking. Then I came back and of course started going back to the gym, and my knee is killing me. Going up and down stairs right now hurts so bad. And I'm guessing it's an old injury. I won't go into the details of the injury, but I'm thinking it comes from an old injury, but I probably need to go see somebody because it's getting really bad. Amy's brother gave me a knee brace that has some metal on the sides to just kind of support it while I'm walking, and so I'm going to try that to see how that does, but I haven't had a chance to try it out yet. So I am still walking, but oh, it hurts. Then I've missed 2 Weight Watchers meetings, the last 2, because the first one I was at Rhinebeck, leaving for Rhinebeck. The second one, last night, my local yarn shop had a Halloween party. Come on, people. What's more important? Halloween party at the yarn shop or Weight Watchers meeting? To me, that was a no-brainer. So I went to the yarn shop. I'm going to go back. I feel like a food addict who has not been to her meetings. I need to go to my meetings so that I can get back on track. Hang head in shame. So, that's what's going on here. Lots and lots of knitting, lots of pain in the knee, and super happy because it's the weekend and I need a rest. October was a crazy month for me. So I hope y'all are all getting a rest. I hope everybody on the East Coast is recovering and healing, and I will see you next week. Bye, everybody.